Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me and my good friend Daria Hansen for this I'm like so curious about this conversation about elegance, the elegance of body processes, especially with you, Daria, because there's a photo that was actually we used to promote this Facebook Live, and you're in this like exquisite golden gown, and I've always noticed this about you. There's an elegance in the way that you move your body, use your body, and I want to bring some of that energy and talk about how does that show up in body processes. But before we go there, I think I would love if you would speak a bit about what is elegance. Because I know when I first came to Access, I thought elegance was like you had to be perfect. Like there was the people that did perfect things perfectly. And I'm like, I am not that person. I can't do elegance. I'm like, I do not belong in like a 50s movie, with the women that were just so elegant. And so what could you share with us? What is elegance and what do you know about
Well,
elegance?
when I think of elegance, all I can think of right away is Coco Chanel, right? There is
Yeah.
this certain energy that we associate with elegance. And if we look at what she created, how she created, and her style, it's creating the greatest result, the greatest effect with the least effort. It's like when you walk, you create a certain wave, not by efforting the walk, but by being. And your whole being is walking with you, right? And you walk with the earth. And the way you dress, it's not to prove anything, it's to actually see what I'd like to create as part of my life, right? Like what energy would I like to create as my life? And some people say, well, it's just shorts and tank top. Yes, it's great. And I spoke just recently to a really wise man, like in the middle of Siberia, in the wood, in the
Oh,
woods. And we got there, and I was wearing this white, beautiful T-shirt, jeans. It was just elegant. And he goes, thank you for dressing up like that to come and see me, because most people think that because I live in the woods, they can come with me in ripped jeans and ripped shirts as it's part of the trend that is out there in the world. And I'm aware of it. But they don't understand what they're creating for their own future and the future of the following generation by wearing the energy of ripped something. And I was just like, whoa. And this guy is like 70 years old and he's wearing weird clothes, but he's this wild man, wise wild man in the middle of Siberia that it's very hard to get to see him. And he showed to me something that Gary Douglas, this founder of Access Consciousness, speaks of for many, many years now. And a lot of people, and I myself didn't quite get what exactly he meant when he said, dress up for your life as if it's celebration. Dress up for your life for the day as if it is the creation of your future. What kind of future would you like to create with what you choose today for your body and with your body? And it's like, oh, what is my body actually like? When does my body feel most joy and like this buzz, like whoo? When I'm in my shorts and tank top and it's comfy and I'm just like ready to go wash floors or dig in a garden, or when I'm wearing this clothes that is still comfortable, but it is about celebrating my life. And I noticed that my body is more alive and more energetic and more grateful to me personally. It might not work for everyone, but to me personally, when I'm more dressed up. Do I dress up every day? I still choose not to. And now having this knowledge that it actually energetically creates towards the future and creates the future that one day will become a present for us and our kids. So what would we like for that to be? And that's part of the elegance, creating the greatest effect with the least effort. So you, with just a little clothes, creating the greatest result for your future. Just that little small choice of clothes creates the future. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, and I think some people even they I've heard people say, well, I don't like to dress up because it takes hours. And it's like they actually have this idea that there's so much work involved. You know, I'd have to straighten my hair and it would take like 3 hours to straighten it. And they thought that that's elegance. But the energy you're sharing is actually the least amount of effort to create the greatest result.
It's waking
That's
up in
really
the morning and
different.
going, body, to create our future, what can we wear today? And the first thing you think about, you go and you put that on. And body, do you want to put your hair down today, or do you want to have your hair pulled up in a ponytail or whatever? And usually, body will quickly choose what actually works for it, and then you get compliments all day. You're like, I like. It took me 5 minutes to get rest and get ready to go. What are you guys talking
Yeah.
about? And that's my world. Like, I don't spend hours getting ready for anything. Uh, but a lot of times I receive a lot of compliments on the way I look, the way I dress, the way I be, the way I create. I don't do a lot of movements to create the results, but I choose what movements I do that create the result.
Yes. Okay. Can you talk a little bit more about that I'm like, ooh, that creation piece. Cause I see that as well, where I put in a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of hours, I did a lot of stressful things that I didn't want to do to create the result. And so that's greater than having the elegance of creation. So is there more you could share about that? Like
Well,
when
on
you
that,
create? Yeah.
yes, love to. I'll bring it towards the 3D body class and the magic and space of the body processes that we get to learn and receive and be throughout the 3 days. So here's an example. You can deal with your kids getting sick every single time, going to the hospital, going to the doctor, going to the pharmacy, running around trying to figure out, being worried all your life what vitamins they need to take, what minerals they might be lacking, what kind of food they need to eat, else do you have to provide so that they are healthy, but then they still fall into sickness and they have a fever, they have sneezes, they have runny nose, cough, or like they got a virus or bacteria, and you're like, what? I'm running like the squirrel all my life, trying to make sure that all my family is healthy and happy, and then I still get to deal with these emergency situations, and I still in this emergency situations run like a squirrel and do 1,000 of movements to get them out of the sickness. So that's one situation. And so yeah, and we've all been there. We've all been there with all that. We've been the subject of that too. And in this, you always deal with things to prevent or to deal with in the moment of failure. Because you fail to prevent by preventing or by not preventing, depends on who does what. But still, so it's dealing in the current situation with a lot of movements. There is another possibility of choosing what creates for you and your body or your bodies of your kids from perceiving, knowing, being, and receiving what their bodies actually require, acknowledging the consciousness of the bodies, working with it, not reacting or resisting to it or agreeing or aligning, not coming to any conclusions, not constantly being pulled into mass media. Oh, here's a virus, here's a bacteria, you have to be aware of this can kill you, this can kill you, this can kill you, and you constantly prevent. No, you're aware of, oh, body, what do you require today? What do you desire today? And I know that everything will be great, because my vision of my family and my life is we're prosper, we're happy, we're healthy. And I control all of my thoughts, emotions, and feelings that don't allow that to be true. I delete them, I erase them, and I prepare, I create right now a future of prosperous, healthy, and happy life by supporting the body with what it actually desires and requires. And so, for example, as a body processes, you start gifting your kids or yourself receiving body processes that open up that actual energy of prosperous, healthy, happy um, being of you and your body. And bodies around you take that as much as they want from you too. Or you actually deliver them a body process if they're willing to and asking for it. And so you, over a period of time, by just very short period of touching someone, for example, with the body processes, it can be as little as 5 minutes. You bring up their immune system, you nurture their body, and you care for their body. That allows for the body to be as strong and as adaptive to anything that changes in the world. And it keeps changing, keeps shifting, and everything is ease, joy, and glory. So you do very little, but you create the future where you don't have to deal with running around all the time and being afraid and being worried and being protective and preventing and. So those are just two different worlds, basically. I've been a mother at first who was running around, and then I got
Yeah.
Access consciousness tools that got me to a place where I relax with my child. And my child has never, well, I would not say has never been sick. She's been sick 3 times in her entire life. And
Wow.
she's never been vaccinated. She doesn't know how to take pills. She doesn't know what syrups are. Like, she is not aware, like, she's aware of possibilities of that because she sees other kids go for that,
Yep.
but she doesn't know how to do it herself. Like, that's not part of her world. And most of the time when she feels sick, she just says, my body just needs to rest. And then she goes and she can lay down for a day and work with her body, let her body transform and shift, adopt to the new thing that it met in the world, and go in the next day with ease, joy, and glory.
Oh, wow. That's elegance. Yeah.
And that's one part of the elegance. Like that. May I just quickly say the other piece? That's just with the family on the body level, but it's also that you can choose elegance, creation your future through your body by asking your body, where do I actually work? Like, what kind of work do we like doing, right? What kind of things we enjoy, and start choosing more of that. And so over suddenly you do 3 hours of work, but you generate a wealth that allows you to relax about a lot of things, instead of you working 24 hours a day, because most of us, when we sleep, we still are at work trying to figure out how we can work even more so we can get more money.
I've never done that.
Well, I would not be speaking about that if I would have not done that either.
Yeah.
So it's our choice. How many movements do we want to make, and what do we want to create?
Yeah. So, as a 3D body facilitator, and you facilitated these classes all around the world, do you find when people come to their first 3D body class, is there an energy of like, this is too easy? What do I have to do? I must have to do something.
Well, we're used to doing, and the whole 3D body class is basically, I would call it like an atom bomb of your whole reality of doing and knowing how to deal with X, Y, and Z. Like, we're used to this idea that we need to have prescriptions for every single situation. If I have earache, what do I do? If my eye is twitching, what do I do? If my nose can't breathe, what do I do? And the reality showed us, well, yes, if your ear, buy this drops. If it's an eye, buy this drops. If it's a nose, buy this drop, or do this kind of procedures. It for everything is a separate procedure. But with body processing in access consciousness, first and foremost, it's all about getting out of judgment that something is wrong, getting to a conversation with a body that actually created that to get your attention to something else that is happening. And so your runny nose is not the problem. Something else is happening that needs your attention. That body goes, hey, please choose this, or please pay attention to me. And so in the 3-day body classes, when people come for the first time, they go, I just do this, I touch the body, and then I just ask for like a name of the energy to generate, and that's it. Well, it seems like that's it if we look on the surface. But it is so much more, only it is from being, not doing. So it is, well, how you touch the body, basically. Like, are you present with the body? Or are you just like clump your hands on, like, I have to sit here and do something, I don't know. I'm bored. Is it over yet? No, are we there yet? And the first question usually is, how long does this take? But when and I explain all that in the class where we go for that, when we be with the body and we gift and receive, and that's a simultaneity of receiving and gifting the energy that shows up in all 3 body classes and body processing as part of access consciousness work overall, where your body is receiving that energy, their body is receiving the energy, and you get to meet certain pieces of their worlds that are stuck in those places in their body, that are held by their body for many, many years, or maybe many lifetimes, actually, because a lot of times we come back to a new life, but with all the baggage, and we institute all the baggage in the new body. It's like, hello, I'm home. I mean, I moved from Chicago to Boston, but it looks exactly the same, except for that car out there, and that tree is not what I used to have as my view. But inside of my walls, it's all the same. And then you be present. And so if something shows up like an emotion or a thought or a feeling, you be with that too, and you let that energy to go through that as well, and it transforms and shifts. And at the end, when it's done, you know it's done. Like magically, you're like, it's done. and you and the person is not the same anymore. You basically both changed. And usually the person receiving goes, do I have to get up? And because you're so relaxed for the first time of your life. When I went to my first 3-day body class, I left that class with only one question: is this what relaxation is about? Wow. Because all my life I hated relaxing. It was something that I could not understand. I'm a doer. I like to do. Let's go play. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm like a monkey. I need more actions. But not every action creates the actual effect. And a lot of times we do a lot of actions to relax, but we don't get to relax. And we come out of the relaxation even more tired and more exhausted than before that vacation, let's say, or before that day off. You're like, what just happened? Like, I did nothing but your mind went to all these different places and thought of different people and what you have to do, not have to do, and you thought of your body and oh yeah, I need to go work out so that I can rest better after that. But you didn't do it from the actual question: what will create the relaxation? What does my body require? And this conversation sounds probably insane to most people, but once you go through the foundation and come to the 3D body class, this conversation becomes so real to you, as if you've always been this way. It's like, there used to be time when I didn't ask my body. When?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love how you brought that up. I actually just finished facilitating a foundation. There was a lot of body stuff that come up where people are like, okay, well, I want to change these things with my body. And what does this reality say? So if you want to lose weight, you need to work out this many times. You need to eat this kind of food. You need to, like, all these things, right? Or I want to change. I have chronic back pain, or I have whatever. And there's a lot of effort. There's a lot of effort if you wanted to go from, size 16 to 6. That would take a lot of effort. And what I've noticed is the elegance of the body processes is that if you're willing to receive and have someone really present with you and running those body processes, it's that elegance. You could have the change without the effort and without the doing.
We had an access facelift class in Russia, and I had a girl receiving come up to me after the class and go, "What just happened? My jeans are falling off me." They were tight, Dory. They were tight. They're falling off me. And yeah, like literally, she showed to me, and I'm like, "Well, how does it get any better than that?" Like her body received and relaxed, so that the water that it was retaining and creating that puffiness just dissipated, basically. How does it get any better than that? Will that be a result for every single one, every single time? We can't guarantee, because every single body is so unique. And the process that every single body goes through to get to a certain effect and a result is also unique.
Yeah, and I would say every time, right? Because I've been to a couple different 3D body classes, and I don't go there looking for a result. I know some people probably do. You probably experience that as a facilitator. But every time the miracle is different. And sometimes you can't even cognitize the miracle, but because it comes with such elegance, such ease.
And there is many times when you don't actually get to perceive the effect now, but a year or 2 or 5 years down the road, you're like, oh, that's what happened over there. Because our mind can only let in what actually meets its own considerations. So whatever we decide, whatever we choose to believe, only that information will show itself to us and will be exposed to us, and everything else will kind of stay blurred out.
Yeah.
The more filters come off our mind, the more we open up to seeing what actually is showing up and basically waking up to consciousness. Then all of a sudden you're finding all these miracles that happened to you over the years and you did not even notice.
Yeah. So would you talk, I know relaxing and receiving are kind of hot access topics right now. And when you said that when you took your first 3D body class, that was when you had that first sense of, whoa, is this what relaxation is? Is there anything more you can talk about with relaxing and receiving and body processes?
Well,
especially just someone that, go ahead.
No, you continue.
Well, I was thinking, especially those people that were like you, that are like, you know what, it sounds cool, but I don't think I could lie on a table for 3 days. I don't think I could relax.
Yeah,
I don't think I could.
A lot of people's point of view, basically. I don't, 3 days of being on the table, being touched. A lot of people don't like being touched too, so they go, I don't want that. but it's the kind of touch we actually don't like. The touch
Mm.
that is attached to a judgment, a touch that is abusive, a touch that is not gentle, a touch that is not present. That's one thing. And then with this piece of not being able to lie on the table for a very long time, we can't, because we can't relax. And these body processes, they naturally create that atmosphere for everyone to, for every single body to override the mind of the owner of the body. And so the first day usually goes, everybody's like, I want to receive more processes, so let's do it fast. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's go. Or like, do a touch here, do a touch there. I can't lie anymore. And I let that be on the first day most of the time when it shows up without a judgment. It's what our life is like. Like everything's going on the energetic level and physical level in the 3-day body class is basically the representation of what's going on in their lives at home.
Wow. That's cool. Keep going. Sorry, I was like, whoa.
And we're changing all that. So we think we're changing not only body, but we're actually changing our entire reality for each and every single one of us in the class. And then on the second day, they show up and they start relaxing. And by the end of the second day, they go, oh, I wish this class was 7 days long. Can we have more of this? Pet me more, please. Do I have to get up? And then on the third day in the morning, like, seriously, today is the last day. And then in the afternoon, they go, I can't anymore. I am so nurtured. I'm so cared for. I'm good. And it's not from, I'm tired, but it's like, it's that knowing for the first time, most people say to me after the classes, for the first time in their life, they perceive what it is like to be so fully nurtured and cared for that you're not hungry, you don't want to go to sleep, you don't have any needs, you are just here. And if somebody says, let's go play, maybe yes, let's go play, maybe not. If somebody says, oh, do you want a coffee? Body, do you want a coffee? It's not from the need or desire anymore. It's from this a whole new space that opens up to us. And they're like, we understand why this class is 3 days, because I don't think I could take like when our cup is full, it's full. And we need to use up some of that energy and some of that space so that we can fill it again. And that is what's happening throughout the 3 days. That's why it's not 2 days long. That's why it's not 4 days long, because that's exactly how many days it requires for the body to release all the stress first, then relax, and then receive.
Brilliant. Oh, I can feel my body just kind of melting as we're talking. And I'm so excited for the classes we have coming up. You said something brilliant. I just want to highlight before we move on is the need disappearing. And where I see a lot of people function from their body of the need, a need of sleep, need of food, need of drink, need of everything. But to really have eliminated that and get to a space of no need, then you're in this space of total choice and creation.
And knowing of what actually is required by the body, because our body is part of this physical reality, and there is certain biological rhythms that it follows. If some of you guys traveled around the world, you might notice, if you travel a lot, if you travel once in a while, it's a little different, but if you travel a lot, you go no matter to what country, your body adjusts to the new time right away. I have a friend who travels with me for work all the time, and she has this requirement of her body to go to the bathroom at 7:30 o'clock in the morning. And she thought if she goes to a different city, then it's 2 hour difference, then it's plus 2 hours, so she will wake up at 9:30. Oh no, her body wakes up at 7:30 and goes to the bathroom. And then we went to another city, which was like 8 hours difference, and it was exactly the same thing. She woke up again at 7:30. And she goes, Daria, what the hell? And I'm like, well, that's the natural capacity of a body to readjust and adapt to the new space and place that where they are. The body is aware where they are, and they start the day by the new clock. It's not a problem. So our bodies have its natural rhythms, basically, of living. And when people say, hey, you need to sleep between like 22, like between 10 p.m. and 7 p.m., it's not quite correct. But yes, a natural thing that occurs, our bodies relax the most at night. That's how bodies work. And it's from about 11 p.m. to 2 in the morning when the melatonin is generated. Mm-hmm. Okay, but it doesn't mean you have to sleep till 7. You can get up at 2 and you can start creating. You can go to sleep and again, and then you can wake up and you can start creating. Or you can go a whole day on the 2-hour sleep. I've experienced that where sometimes I don't sleep. But when I was sleeping awkward times, my body was not rested. My body was not relaxed. And I had some difficulties, basically. And then when I started asking my body, what do you want? And I could perceive that I want to sleep latest at 11 o'clock, I'm in bed. And then we get up whatever time we get up. I can get up at 5. I can get up at 7. I can get up at 3. And then I'm full of energy and drive to create and do things. And I have a full day, more than most people, to create. So that's the elegance too, where you don't do things because you're told, but you actually are working with your body and perceiving how this reality works and going beyond this reality of what everybody says has to be and how it has to work. And ask your body, how will we create us, dear body? What is available to us? And what can we generate and institute that is outside of our imagination? It's a completely different world.
Wow. Yes. Yes. Oh, it is a completely different world. And I just want to invite anyone watching this now in the future, if this is lighting you up, if you want more with Daria, please check her out. Her website is in the link of this description, but also there's these 3-day body classes coming up in Canada that I know my body's just, I keep saying the word excited, but it doesn't have that like excited. It has like this like expansion, this space, this joy of the possibilities that are going to show up. So grateful that you're coming and that you're willing to facilitate these classes. And I just wonder. I wonder.
Happy bodies all over the world.
Yeah, what a gift. Thank you so much.
We are happiness. Let's institute happiness in our bodies too.
Yes. And it doesn't have to be hard. It can be it can be easy.
As easy as lying on the table for 3 days.
Yes.
Well, I know I went to so many classes just to release, relax, and receive. Like it wasn't to shift something in my body. It wasn't to change my body. It wasn't to lose weight. It wasn't to gain weight. It wasn't to fix a disease. It was literally to just release, relax, and receive. And I came out of those 3-day classes feeling like I went for a vacation for 3 months, not for 3 days. I've never felt so rejuvenated. But that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Don't ever.
Don't. Work harder.
It's more fun to work hard. Come on. We all love it. That's why we do it so much.
Yeah, I'm choosing something different this year. I'm definitely choosing something different and with my body. So thanks for the possibility. And I can't wait. Can't wait for class. You guys check out the link if you want. Both classes are there. There's one in Calgary in a couple weeks and one in Toronto after that. And you're invited. And your body's invited. Yeah. All right.
We will be happy
Thank
seeing you
you.
there.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye for now.